Hello, you guys. So now we will be continuing doing part two just because I didn't want to like cram the two videos together. You know what I mean? So we are going to continue. So let's continue. So Dolly the sheep was the first mammal to be cloned from an adult somatic cell. So it's very important adult somatic cell, and the sheep was cloned. So which DNA did Dolly inherit? So A, nuclear and mitochondrial DNA from the surrogate. Ew. Okay, so let's look at it. So we have Scottish blackface, we have Finn Dorset. It gave it its enucleatin, enucleatin, sorry, and Finn Dorset gave it its mammary cells, and then she ended up like there was direct current pulse, blastocyte, surrogate EO, and then we ended up getting Dolly. So all of these they end up like forming surrogate EO before it formed Dolly. So A is not true. It cannot get its nuclear and mitochondrial DNA from surrogate EU. This is false. Nuclear and mitochondrial DNA from Finn Dorset. Not like it can't get both nuclear and mitochondrial because again, Finn Dorset gave its mammary. So that means that it's gonna end up giving nuclear DNA. Okay. And Scottish blackface gave its enucleatin, which means it's gonna give its mitochondrial DNA. Okay, so it can like Finn Dorset, okay, it does give its nuclear DNA, but it does not give the mitochondrial DNA, so this is false. Mitochondrial DNA from Scottish blackface and nuclear DNA from Finn Dorset. That is correct. And D mitochondrial DNA from Scottish blackface and nuclear DNA from surrogate EU. No, so D is our answer. It's not from surrogate EU and it gets each one from one. So yeah. Question 18. So the pie chart shows a nutrition of fungi, who lake wetland in China. So what's the most common mode of nutrition in the fungi of this wetland? Okay, so here we have saprotrophs. Okay. So saprotrophs are a type of heterotroph, just so you know, and saprotrophs they use enzymes in order to externally digest. Okay, their enzymes are actually in the gut. This is like extremely detailed, but that's in case they just ask you any question. So then you have parasites and you have symbionts. So for question 18, the first like answer is heterotrophic fungi that feed on living organisms by ingestion. So no, this is actually digestion, not ingestion. So this answer is false. Autotrophic fungi that okay, so the fungi is not trophic, saprotrophic. So most common mode of nutrition. So here they just trying to tell you that saprotrophs. Okay, so I missed on explaining that part, guys, because I'm really familiar with these papers. But basically, they said most common mode of nutrition of fungi, right? So here you have to ignore parasites. You have to ignore symbionts. You need to focus on saprotrophs because they're asking you a question about the most common, right? So it's not autotrophic because autotrophic means it produces its own nutrition, which is false. Saprotrophs don't do that. It's not autotrophic. Fungi that have either autotrophic or allotrophic mode of nutrition, no, it is simply heterotrophic, simply that. So heterotrophic fungi obtaining nutrients from dead organisms by external digestion, exactly what I explained to you guys. This is our answer. So just directly think of saprotroph and go from there. What is the main contribution of greenhouse gases to global warming? So we have greenhouse gases, global warming, and the keyword is main. So absorbing long wave radiation, therefore retaining atmospheric heat, that is true. Converting long wave radiation to short wave radiation, that's not the role of greenhouse gases, no. Producing a hole in the ozone layer, therefore allowing more heat in the atmosphere, no. And reflecting short wave radiation, therefore increasing the atmospheric temperature, no. Our answer is A for 19. So for 20, humans have persecuted predators such as coyotes, causing severe reduction in the number of large carnivores throughout the world. So carnivores, they just eat meat. So just remember that, okay? The diagram represents a part of a food web. So this is a food web. What is the possible outcome for the lagomorph population in the ecosystem if coyote numbers were controlled by killing them to reduce losses of domestic livestock? Okay, so here what they're telling us is that what would happen to this population if the coyotes were killed. So here we'd have no coyote. Okay, so here we're just gonna like start describing. So basically, lagomorph is eaten by both the coyote and the foxes. But keep in mind that the foxes are also eaten by the coyotes. Okay, and the rodent is also eaten by the coyote. Okay, so I'm gonna put different colors for the rodent. I think it's better. So rodents eaten by the coyote and by the fox, and the bird eggs are just eaten by the foxes. So here they're asking us specifically what will happen to the lagomorph. So the lagomorphs will decrease because there are fewer predators. So firstly, this is the only part that's true about this answer is that there are fewer predators. That's true, but the amount of lagomorph won't decrease just because there are actually going to be more. Because once the coyote actually disappears, like they start just killing it, um, okay, the fox will end up like there's going to be more foxes, right? But again, there's going to also be more rodents. So technically, no, because they're just going to be more lagomorphs. Increase because there are fewer foxes to eat them. No, actually, there's going to be more foxes to eat them, but the foxes won't be as much as the coyotes, and there's going to be more rodents. So no, because this will increase as well. This will increase. This will decrease. This will increase. Okay, this will stay the same. Or no, the bird eggs actually might decrease as well because the bird eggs will decrease because there's just going to be more foxes. Decrease because there are more rodents for foxes to eat. No, it's just like these two, they're not completely false, but they don't make sense. Decrease because there are more rodents for foxes to eat. Yeah, but because there's more rodents, they're going to actually increase. So this part is wrong. Increase because although there are more foxes, there are also more rodents. Exactly. This is the answer I was literally looking for. Um, 21, the ability to digest lactose in adulthood appeared due to mutation in lactase gene. Okay, so the mutation in lactase genes, the frequency of lactase persistence allele was recorded as 0.8 in present-day European populations, and as 0.05 in fossils from populations in the prehistoric ancestors. What could have caused the change in the allele frequency? Drinking more milk caused the mutation to occur? Not really. Excuse me, guys, sorry. There was a strong positive selection for lactase persistence allele. Yes. Lactase persistence allele was transformed to humans from cows. That's actually very false. This is not biologically possible. Prehistoric milk did not contain lactose. No. So the only two that were confusing are A and B. Like drinking more milk caused mutation to occur. That's not technically true, but there was a strong positive selection. So B is our answer. Okay. So now for the next question. The photograph shows a scorpion. What recognition features indicate that this is an arthropod? Okay, so we do know that scorpions, they have like an exoskeleton. So when you actually step on one, you can hear like the crunch, you can hear the sound because of the like exoskeleton. So that is true. And articulated legs, yes. So this answer will make sense. B. Segmented body and endoskeleton. It does not have an endoskeleton, so that is not true. It actually does have a segmented body because if you split it in half, then it'll be the same. But no, that's actually bilateral symmetry. But yeah, soft body covered by calcium exoskeleton. Its body is not soft, so that's false. The body divided into three parts and radial symmetry. It has bilateral symmetry, not radial symmetry, so it's false. So our answer is A. 23 has been removed for copyright reasons, so we cannot do this one. 24. What occurs in the human small intestine during digestion? Cellulose is digested to maltose. This is false. Cellulose is not made up of maltose. Starch is digested by is digested to amylose and amylopectin. No, this is true, but not in the small intestine during digestion. No, does not fit with these two. Lipids are digested by amylase. That is false. Lipids do not digest amylase. Amylase digest starch, and actually amylase is in the saliva. It's an enzyme in the saliva that breaks down starch. The proteins are digested by endopeptidase. Yes, that is true. That's what happens in the small intestines. 25. The light microscope. So the structure of blood vessels in a muscle. What blood vessel is shown by X? Okay, so let's look at it. It actually looks like a vein because due to its features, it cannot be an artery at all, so it's a vein. And the capillaries actually have holes. This doesn't have a hole, so this is not capillary and it's not an arteriole. What happens during blood clotting? So blood clotting, a chain reaction causes platelets to release antibodies to avoid infections. No, that's not what happens. But during blood clotting, basically, the blood clot forms. So there's no blood flow whatsoever. So the body stops to actually have blood flow. Thrombin is converted to fibrinogen after a series of chemical reactions. No. Sealing of wound by fibrinogen makes platelets release antibodies for clotting. No. Chemical reactions cause wounds to seal after platelets release clotting factors. Our answer for this question is D. 27. What is the effect of antibiotics on viruses? Antibiotics have no effect on viruses, and that is actually true because antibiotics have only effect on bacteria and not viruses. So this is true. Again, viruses are not living, so they cannot have metabolism for question B. Viruses will evolve to present resistance to the antibiotic. Again, no. Antibiotics directly prevent viruses from reproducing. No, viruses are not living things, okay? Question 28. So, what are the functions of type 1 and type 2 alveolar pneumocytes? Okay, so basically, pneumonia is when the person begins having extreme fungus and cannot breathe. A, it is product surfactant for type 1, exchange of CO2. No. Okay, B is exchange of CO2, exchange of O2. No. Phagocytic cells, protective epithelial cells. No. 3, carry out of gas exchange. Yes. Product servants. Yes. Our answer is D for question 28. 29, what occurs during the establishment of resting memory potential of a neuron? Okay, so basically both sodium and potassium ions are pumped outside the neurons. No, basically one is pumped inside the neuron, one is pumped outside. They cannot be pumped at the same time. They're actually usually on opposite sides, so no. B, sodium ions are pumped out while potassium ions are pumped into the neuron. Yes, this is our correct answer. So here in A, it's wrong because they're pumped, sodium is pumped out, but potassium is pumped in, so out in. Okay. So the rest are all wrong because D is also says that sodium ions leave by diffusion and potassium ions after the neuron by active transport. That's not true. D, which hormone helps control levels of glucose in the blood? So for glucose, we do know that it's glucagon, and we do know that actually glucose is also like stored as glycogen. But yeah, so it's not insulin. Insulin actually helps with blood flow. It is from the liver cells, but or no, actually insulin's not from the liver cells. Never mind, ignore that. But it is not it. Thyroxine, secreted by thyroid gland. This does not have to do with glucose. Glucagon secreted by the A cells of the pancreas. That is true. And melatonin secreted by the B cells of the pancreas. This doesn't have to do with the glucose in the blood. So this is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye. If you have any questions, comment down below. Please like and subscribe to my video. Bye bye, guys.